Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back with some more Napoleon Total War 3 as we have a brilliant cannon volley going off there by the French. As we have, like I said, we have a brilliant 3v3 with the French and Bavarians battling off against the British and their German allies today in this amazing 3v3 sent in. And yeah, I mean, we've got Prussia, we've got Saxony, and like I said, we have Britain. We have the Peninsular Army here fighting with the German forces. We have like the Spanish army for France here that will be joining the Bavarians, and also I believe it's the Italian, the early period like Italy army as well. So we've got a few mix of periods and a few mix of nations in today's NTW3 action. But as always, if you're enjoying seeing Napoleonic action and would like to see some more glorious musket battles and some cannon volleys that crash into rank upon rank of infantry, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment to show your support as we work towards 5k subscribers. But yes, anyway, let us get on with this battle and let us see what is going to happen. So it looks like, from what I can see, Prussia, I personally thought Prussia was going to ascend this hill, but it looks like he's going to kind of go around the bottom of it. I mean, some of his troops will go up it, but I thought certainly this hill would be certainly a great place to put like his artillery. He's had like some hussars here that have just been bombarded by that horse artillery, which has now just disappeared. But yeah, I can see that this hill could be the scene of quite a lot of cannon duels. It looks like we also got a 6-pounder coming up from Bavaria that also is going to try and help bombard this hill. But it's a really nice position, looked over most of the hillside, like most of the battlefield. But yeah, it looks like there we go, a volley as well from the Bavarian guns. Bavaria, a pretty nasty faction, as we've seen before in previous battles, like in the last NTW3 battle, for instance. They took on about 3 armies. If you haven't checked out that battle, I fully recommend you go and do so. We also have some Bavarian Jaeger cavalry out here, just keeping an eye on what's going on ahead, just keeping an eye on their German like foes. There's actually a German versus German battle going on here. So it seems like both sides are employing their own German allies. And we've got some Saxon 8-pounders here that are now trying to shoot that Jaeger cavalry. And it looks like Britain is going to be taking up this sort of like slope as well on this on the far side. But it's not like it's much of an advantage, because also like the Italian like campaign also has their own slope as well. But what's this cavalry doing? This little hussar unit is getting a bit too close, I think, to Prussia. But Prussian Bear may just wake up and send out the cuirassiers. You never know. Go and rout that tiny little unit. I'm highly doubting. You never know. Seen some strange things going on. But yeah, this was a battle that was sent in by a member of my Discord. If you want to send in your own battle replays, then feature on the channel, and you've got some really good NTW3 or just Total War replays, the link is down below in the description. As always, feel free to come and join and stop by and get involved in some battles, send in your replays, or just get to know a really cool Total War like community, whichever one you prefer. Someone's taking a building. Who is taking the building? Oh, so it's Britain. Britain is taking this building. No surprise here. What's he stuck in there? Some Northumberland foot. Very good, very good. It looks like we can now see the French army starting to appear, or one of the French armies, I should say. We've got a Legion of Hanover there that disappeared just before we could see them. We've got some Swiss infantry as well. Wow, everything is just disappearing. We've got 1 Legion of Hanover here. Still, and that's just disappeared. How come Prussia not see them? They should definitely be able to see them by now. Apparently not. Did they shoot some of their own infantry? They did. Rip in peace that guy down there. Shooting their own infantry. You be careful of that. I mean, at this point it's okay, but later on could be a problem. But here we go. Saxon cav going in, and it's they've routed some Polish lancers over there, and now they're taking on the cavalry battalion, and they have routed them as well. Cavalry battalion, not battalion. Yeah, they routed them. They used to be really good. I would like to see them wreck units, and now they seem to get wrecked quite often. We've got these Chevaliers, they're just taking out hussars. Now, they might do. I don't know. It could be an quite even fight. And there you go. The Saxon cavalry unit is taking out another unit of French cavalry there, and there's more cavalry coming. Look at this. Cavalry battalion. Don't tell me this Chevalier is going to try and take this one out as well. I don't think they have the willpower to take that one out. More Saxon cav coming forward though. We've got some Chevaliers here coming forward. This is a lot of Italian cavalry here. This one gets broken by the Saxons. They're sending in fresh cavalry here. And they're also attacking the Bavarians over their Jaeger cav. And there you go, that Chevalier there takes out another, I think that's the Hussar unit, yeah. So there you go. Saxon going very aggressive with all of his cavalry, doing a lot of damage to the French alliance. Got some Chevaliers here that could get sandwiched by Saxon Chevaliers, and they probably are going to be by the looks of it. There you go, they're gone. And the Saxons bring up their own cuirassiers to face Bavaria's cuirassiers as well. But I'll just call them Bavarian Saxons. It's like, that's definitely a weird hybrid, but definitely not a thing. We've also got some light dragoons that are chasing the cavalry battalier here. I don't know if that's really the smartest idea. Don't see that as a winning fight. But clearly Britain wanted a bit of the action, and he gets a bit of the action just the hard way. He loses a lot of men and he dies. That was not a good idea. Light dragoons like that tiny little unit, I always find that they do very well going after artillery crews or skirmishers. Not well going after like cavalry units that are numbering in the 60s. But there you go, a little cavalry skirmish to start us off. That's always good to whet the appetite for this Napoleonic clash. Looks like we could soon have an infantry fight here because France is slowly moving forward towards the Prussian lines. I mean, this is 1806, like Prussia. So this is before they've reformed. So this faction often its infantry kind of sucks. Its cavalry is pretty good, but it's also a pretty archaic like period. They're still like fighting like the Frederick the Great sort of style uniforms. And these guys aren't. These Fusiliers aren't. But if there's any musketeers that we can find, they are. There you go, musketeers down here. Looking a bit like they're still fighting for Frederick the Great, to be honest. There you go. They'll fight on hard. That was one thing that Napoleon always admired in the Prussians. Even though they were ill-equipped and poorly commanded, they fought hard. A bit like the Russians, to be honest. I'd say that. The Russians were a bit more well-commanded, I'd say, but still ill-equipped. Looks like France is... Don't know what France is trying to do. He's maybe just testing out the defenses. There's a lot of Prussian infantry now at the top of this hill. Look here, Gendarme Cheval. Cool unit. We don't often see this unit on the battlefield. Kind of fancy. Kind of reminds you of the cavalry battalier that's with like the Italian faction. Yeah, they're getting really close to this cavalry and just not doing anything with it. I guess they're just daring to see whether the Prussians are trying to take it out. But here we go, Hussars going forward. They're going to go for this 12-pounder out here, or they look like they were going to. The Hussars from Prussia have like moved in the direction of the guns, scaring off their opponents. Well, this horse artillery moves quick. It's one of the quickest moving things I've seen. At the moment, it's just a few artillery duels by both sides, so gives us a moment just to admire the battlefield a little bit. I can just... But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty cool one. This is Flanders 2, if I remember correctly. A lot of people ask what map's what, so this is Flanders 2. Pretty nice map, I won't lie. I mean, it's just in a nice valley, really. Got all the Italian troops now starting to arrive here. Looks like they are kind of ignoring Britain, because Britain's quite a way back. Britain needs to really move up with his army. He's a bit slow in doing so. He is now doing just that. But I think he realizes he is a little bit behind. What we got here? King's German Legion 2nd Dragoons. They're a pretty good unit. The Dragoons for Britain are pretty solid. The light Dragoons there, not as great. But yeah, I mean, Saxony needs to be careful. I mean, if the French move quickly, which they're not moving that quickly, in fairness, they could have potentially attacked Saxony with 2 armies before Britain arrived. But they chose not to, which is okay. Now here we go. These Hussars pay the price for standing so close to the front line. They're getting hit hard. I'm going to just like fast forward a little bit because nothing really is going on, and don't want to just keep you guys waiting, looking for some infantry lines that aren't moving just yet. But hopefully, we'll have some movement in a moment. It's got some big artillery like unit up here. This is four units or 4 guns. And they're all horse artillery, so that's always good. Bavaria, I mean, it looks like the French are going to play defensive in this game. Bavaria is set up in a fairly defensive position. Looks like he's going to put his guns in front of his infantry, and it doesn't look like he's going to move on from here. Looks like he's quite happy just to kind of use this, like, these building and these, like, trees as a bit of a linchpin, like, just the center of his line, and he's got, like, infantry and guns either side of the tree in the building. Maybe he's hoping to wait on the other French army to arrive. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where the, like, Spanish-French army is. I thought it would have started to appear by now, or certainly the infantry. Or maybe they just don't want to engage Prussia up here. If that was the case, if I was the French, I would have just marched this way, marched towards Saxony. Just to, like, avoid Prussia. But Prussia's made that pretty difficult. He's like, instead of just going straight onto the hill, these troops off the side, kind of like are making France having to engage him partly at least. Like, he's got to be partly engaged if he wants to then try and get towards Saxony. He is sort of defending the flank. So a very narrow gap to try and get between Saxony and Prussia for the Spanish-French army if they want to try that. But here we go. Looks like Britain's going to come off this slope and he's going to come down and join Saxony. The British are coming! The British are coming! As the Americans would say a whole 100 years, about, not 100 years ago, about 50 years ago, like before that period. The Redcoats are on the move. But yeah, it looks like the Allies are going to have to be the ones to make the push. Certainly doesn't look like the French are going to be moving out anytime soon, and Bavaria is quite happy just to sit here, it seems. Wherever the rest of his army is. I mean, that's a fair enough decision by the French, I think. The Prussians got the better deal in the terrain. And the French are going, well, oh, they're just hitting their own troops. You need to be careful about that, Prussia. That can be quite costly. You've lost quite a few men from that. But yeah, again, well, move your guns. Move the guns. If you're going to put your troops in front of them, move the guns. But yeah, Prussia got the better deal in the terrain. So the French are going, well, you'll have to come off your hill if you want to fight us. Otherwise, we'll just sit at the bottom of this hill. There you go. Finally, these guns are moving. After they kill, I think they've killed a fair deal of their own men here. But yeah, the Prussian infantry is starting to get not peppered, but shot at. Not too much though. There's a few casualties. There's not many. Where is this French army? And the Bavarians are the only ones showing themselves. And more and more of them are starting to appear now. Here we go. Looks like we're about to see a charge from these hussars. They're going to try and go all the way for this gun. It's 3-pounder here. It's a little pop gun, really, in comparison to some of the other guns here today. Here we go. Hussars coming in. And they are probably going to deal with that 3-pounder pretty well. Why Bavaria didn't set up this infantry just to turn and face it, I do not know. He was caught slacking. Now charges in the infantry to deal with the hussars.
Our men are running.
There you go. The hussars are now running, but their mission was completed. And they got that gun off the battlefield. I like how these guys formed square and they were nowhere near the threat of the cavalry. There you go. So Bavaria's now without a gun. I mean, this is always a good way to get an enemy to come towards you. Take out their guns, because then they can't continue to fight in this, in like the range battle, the long range battle. Got more artillery going up there, firing to the top of that hill. A hussar return though for Saxony, so I mean that's a good win as well. It's just it killed the artillery unit and it then also returned. So it's a win-win really. And there you go, Bavaria's disappeared just like that. I'm very interested to see what like the French are doing. I wonder whether the French are just keeping up some sort of facade here with a few units of cav and some artillery, and they move. I'd be quite interested to see whether they move their entire army like towards the center, support one of their allies. Because I would not attack this spot. I don't think this is a good place to attack, even if you had like this French army, which is a pretty strong French like army. I don't know if I'd attack this Prussian force. I mean, it looks like they're going to put a lot of shells into any of these units. We've got pioneers in this building here. I've done a lot of damage to this, like, this infantry unit here, but I would be wanting to, like, use all my cannonballs up before I go up this hill. I don't think there is a limit for cannons. They just have unlimited ammo, which is a bit broken. But again, I guess we'll do a bit more fast forwarding while we wait for the French or someone to make a move. I do apologize. It's a very slow-paced one. But there's been a few bits of action, so not really worthy of a cut. Looks like Saxony's going to come forward again. Here we go, the Hussars. This time I think we're going to go for the other gun on the other side. This one here, though, was protected by a unit that could form square. So that's different. But yeah, it looks like Saxony's going to try it once again. Oh, there you go. Bavaria stuck so much of his infantry now behind this this line here. Behind those trees. Trying to hide them. Oh, here we go. Here we go. The French are not doing any sort of facade. They are just stood here. Why could the Prussians not see that? They're on a hill as well. They should be able to see down into the slope and be able to see the massive infantry. Which is the thing I don't really get with NTW3. Because, yeah, you see they're all disappearing now. I know they're no longer moving. I know they're no longer moving. But if you can see a couple of units of cavalry... and you're always able to see the general in fairness, but if you can see a couple of units of cavalry, you could see the massive infantry that surrounds them. Like, also you see the dust that is being, like, churned up by, like, the huge armies that are being, like, are moving. French now bring over carrier here. We've also got some Uhlans here from Bavaria. Actually, cannot see the guns anymore now.
Sir, our general is under attack.
Oh, he's getting shot by stray cannonballs. Okay. Yeah, the French are, like, not moving. They are literally at the foot of this hill, and they're waiting to go up. Looks like now maybe we're going to see a charge. Yeah, look, Bavaria... Oh, why did Bavaria pull out of that? That was a charge he could have done. Yeah, now he's going to have to go for that Prussian unit. But he should have gone for the gun. I think he would have made it. Prussia was not ready. And yeah, Bavaria's going to break from that. But yeah, Prussia wasn't ready. Like, he had infantry that was slowly moving up, this grenadier unit. But the cavalry was just sitting there patiently, and I think it was, he would have caught the gun. It would have been close, but I think he would have got it. Prussians are now gone. They got routed by the French cav. Whether the cavalry will carry on and go for the gun, I don't know. It's not really the best positioned gun, to be honest. So it's not the one you want to be taking out. There's a 12-pounder further along that was better for taking out. Oh, a lot of cavalry now moving around that flank there just to try and protect that gun. The gendarmes look like they're going to follow. Yeah, the crews just abandoned the guns. Probably the smart move. Means they're now stuck up here, though. And it also looks like we have on the other side British cavalry has now discovered portions of the Italian-French army. So that is always good. This is what you use light dragoons for. You use them for scouting. They're good for scout units. Also got a cavalry battalion out here. And yeah, it's not what you use your light dragoons for. It's attacking this unit, which he did earlier. Not a good move by you, Britain. It's not healthy. Yeah, it looks like this French army. I wonder whether this French army is going to try and flank the British and try and get the high ground. I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi would approve that, getting the high ground. But personally, I'd just attack France. I'd just attack England or Britain or whatever you want to call them. I mean, it is a strong British army. It's a big one too. Look at the amount of infantry there is here. There's a lot of infantry. Probably, I think, maybe the largest army. There's a lot of stuff here. But maybe just look at the largest because it's stretched out. But I don't know. I probably think this is okay to take on. If they attack like a certain portion as well, like say this portion, you can see the British now turning because they see the flanks coming. Though I have also seen this like Italian faction, they can pump out large armies as well. If you bring the right build, you can get a large infantry army going. I still think the weak link to take out will be Saxony. I think the weak link will be Prussia or Saxony. These two I often see when we do like your general stat sort of like scenarios. These two factions get wrecked because I don't know. They just do. They just get wrecked. But again, looks like we're doing more fast forwarding. I do apologise. But I'm sure that the land battle will begin soon. I'm not just going to stand here for 6 million years and just do a little few cavalry charges. Eventually someone will make the move and we'll move forward. But this is how tactical NTW3 battles can be sometimes. Yeah, they often can be just a bit of a Mexican standoff for a little bit while someone works out where the weakest point is, or they just eventually just go in and just go, screw it, we'll just go in and we'll see what happens. Sometimes that works. I've seen it work a few times. Just throw your whole load in. I mean, to be honest, you're looking at like the Saxon army. They got these units here which are garrison units. I would be attacking Saxony if I was Bavaria. I'd be thinking, this point here, you attack these guys. Yes, there's lots of cavalry. I mean, there's hussars and yeah, these chevaliers. Obviously, there's obviously a risk. You just send your like square units on this flank, and you probably do okay. And also, you could just like call upon like the French to come down and help with like cavalry or with infantry, whatever you wanted. Because it looks like Prussia, like I said, is quite happy to sit on this hill till, I don't know, hell freezes over. Because no one, they are not coming off this hill. They are just quite happy to sit like all their infantry behind this building and wait. And they're going to happily bombard, I don't know what. They're waiting to be bombarded, really. Like, the guns for the Prussians have, like, nothing to aim at. Apart from, like, a general. Which I'm surprised they haven't shot at, which you can do in NTW 3. But, it looks like, I'm going to say that maybe the, might be the Italians open. Are they firing at those cavalry battalion? I think they were. Looks like it's going to be the Italian-French army. It's going to be the first to make the move and actually be the first to engage. It's the one getting closest with its infantry to Britain. I mean, I say that Bavaria's of about equal distance, actually. But, yeah, this is kind of surprising it's taken this long to get to a land battle. Okay, well, a actual, like, musket battle. Musket battle? What am I on about? Line battle. There we go. Words are hard, and clearly the lack of action is starting to affect me. What is going on here? This is a routing 3-pounder. Just wondered why there's just a gun carriage retreating across the battlefield. Certainly makes for interesting watching. Guns still going off. I mean, it just seems like both sides are quite happy to just shell each other. In the case of like the Allies, they can't see any of the French to shell. So it seems like they're hitting stuff. Oh, they just hit the general. They actually did just hit the general, and they also took out a bunch of infantry, maybe a gun here as well. They took out 2 guns. Well, that's a big hit. That's a big oof for Bavaria. Bavaria's losing 1 or 2 guns right now, just a couple. Still waiting on the first moves. The Italian army still being the first to approach and still advancing. Brits are going to carry on moving back up the hill now. They're going to counter this flank, which is good to see. This looks like it's going to be the first musket battle. Finally. Oh, and we got some sort of cavalry charge going on here. Okay, Prussia's finally going to decide to go in and take out this tiny little hussar unit, which is going to skip away and avoid the Prussians by the looks of it and get held up on that gun crew. Yeah, there you go. Oh, and the infantry comes in and it shoots its own cavalry and it's shooting the Prussians. Prussians going to carry on in, and they're going to go for the gun. And, yeah, they got routed. Well done. Well protecting the gun there. Very good protection. Really, really nice. Well done by the French. But now we can see the French army again. I mean, it's looking okay. There's a lot of, like, interesting units here. There's a lot of, like, Legion of Hanover. We've got the Swiss here. Got some other German units. Doesn't look like they got anything like the Young Guard. Oh, they got Marines to the Guard here. Always good to see the Marines. They can all disappear again in a moment. There you go. Off they go. Here we go. Looks like Britain and France here are about to clash. They've got to be in range. I thought they'd be in range from here. Yeah. Let's have a volley, boys. Finally! Some musket action. Here we go. And the French are the first. Well, I mean, they already were really against the Prussians, but they're the first to fire some shots off in anger, and the first few Redcoats are dropping. Come on, Britain, I'd just set up and just start firing back. You've probably got pretty good accuracy. I also think your the carry battalion here of the French cannot deal with those dragoons, I would have thought. I may be wrong, but I would have thought that would have been the case. Here we go, Britain, come on. For king and country, boys. Or not. You're not going to fire? Neither side now. Tell me you're not going to just do this. You're in range of each other. We've just seen that. You're kidding me. Just as a beat. There we go. They're coming a bit more into range. Surely the British now will fire. Or not. Please tell me Britain's going to fire. You're just not going to allow yourselves to get shot by the French. The French are just happy to shoot. We've got the more Legion of the Helvetii here. Different period, but more Swiss fighting for the French. Tiny little unit as well, with 69 men. Yeah, they're just the French are gonna just be allowed to shoot at the British. What is going on? Britain, you just fancy shooting back at some point? There we go. They're shooting over here. There we go. Finally, some shots in anger from the Allied side. And some Frenchies start to drop. When's this big line here they're going to start firing? And it also seems like Britain is pushing up here. Nope, not going to fire. Let's have a volley, boys. They've got to be in range. Maybe not. I can hear cavalry moving. Oh yeah, we've got Saxon cavalry that's been sent over here to come and join against the French. Finally, the British are firing back on this flank here. Thank God. Wellington would not be pleased with this. He'd be expecting you to be firing 2 or 3 rounds a minute. Probably 3. You've not been firing for the last 5. There we go. That's what we like to see. British lines opening up, and there you go. Look at this. This is a cavalry fight that the Allies can win. Almost certainly. I mean, they probably could have won it just with the dragoons, I think. The lights bizarrely went in first. And yeah, the swarm of this King's German Legion light, heavy dragoon going in routes this cavalry battalion very easily, And now we have Chevalets and dragoons over here. They can flank when they like. Looks like they're going to turn a French unit of infantry just to face them. This unit can form square. Honestly, if I was the British, they've got a spare unit here in reserve. Thomas Picton's Northumberland foot. I'd flank around with it, and like this Rutlandshire foot, I'd flank and start to force this French unit to turn around, or it'll force the French to turn and change their lines basically. But we've got a big French line now opening up against British. Also now seeing a big push on this side. Finally, a combined French and Bavarian push, and they're going both for Prussia by the looks of it. Saxony's being ignored, which is a smart move. They had to either ignore one or the other, I think, and they had to 2v1 one of them to then give themselves a chance. But yeah, we'll come back to that in a moment as Britain and France carry on their musket duel, and it's looking very good. Looking very good for Britain. France is taking quite a lot of casualties, and there's obviously always the threat of the carrying behind. Look at this. Now they send up some infantry to protect the general. And they're going to form square. The dragoons hold the... Yeah, get out of there. Get out of there. That's not something you want to be doing. I'd just be hunting for units that can't form square. I mean, if they can all form square, that's a problem. No, they can't. This one can't. This one can't. This one can't. I just charge these ones at the end. Charge these ones at the end. And then you start to win this flank, and then these guys can turn and flank the French. And you start to wrap them up. Or you just charge the centre here. Because a lot of these can't form square. either one. But there we go. We have Bavaria and France now pushing forward. Looks like they tried something with their hussars again, which failed for Prussia. Prussia just needs to retreat stuff here. I don't know if there's stuff here that's looking at them, but they need to retreat some of this infantry to swap it back around. They're in a bit of trouble. Bavarian infantry breaking though as it tries to go for the guns, but the guns are only able to go off one charge, like one volley. Jeez, before they get charged. Grassi's now coming in. They're going to try and rout this Bavarian unit. Probably do it very easily. There you go, they're gone. And now the Bavarians open up onto the Prussian cav and infantry here. Very good, get the cav out of there. And Saxony's starting to arrive. And he's also going to be dueling with the rest of Bavaria here. So they're slowing some skirmishes. Britain is very much now fully engaged. He's got his, what are these? Sicily's Legion. Okay, got some like guys from some Italian boys fighting for the Brits. Look at this, a rear charge coming from the British Dragoons. France isn't paying attention. I mean, he can't form square anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like I said, he just needs to charge these units, and he turns his flank. There you go, breaks that one. He probably will break this one as well if he stays there. He's gonna, I mean, he looks like he's gonna get out of there, which is probably a smart idea. Just shoot this unit in the back, it'll probably break. All they need to do is keep harassing the French. Either French form square like they are, and they get shot by British lines, or they don't form square and they carry on fighting the lines and get charged in the back. Come on, Frenchies, you got to keep firing. Think of Napoleon. Don't want to shame him, but the French are going to charge him. French are going to charge into these two Sicily Legion. I don't know how great they are. I don't think as good as the normal British infantry, but it doesn't matter because the Dragoons are going to come in. Oh, they're not actually. They kind of just left them. The light infantry here is going to get broken. The French did not. Well, yeah, the French weren't really in great morale shape to be charging down that hill. But it also looks like over here, France is now dueling with Prussia. And we have actually got Frenchies coming up this slope, which is why they were keeping stuff over here. I just got to carry up the hill. If you falter, then you get shot at. Look at that Prussian flag in the flapping in the wind. Not such an intense line battle is going on over here. As you can see, Britain is starting to like carve up the French, and a really good charge here from the Saxons has routed another unit, another 2 units in fact. We've now got a little island here for this little 72nd of the line, all on its own. But yeah, as you can see, France is starting to get carved up over here. It's not looking so great. So the other 2 like armies have got to start getting pretty aggressive on the Germans before Britain arrives. So I think Britain's going to win this fight. He's doing a good deal of damage as well. When you can charge this unit, it can't form square. This one can. A lot of them can form square now. It's whether they form square in time, and they do. It also slows them down so the British can catch up with them. Now you can see here, this one's forming square. It's very much stuck though now. And it's going to get gunned down, as you can see. So cavalry doesn't have to get kills that way. You can get kills inadvertently, just forcing units to slow down, form square. And there you go. He's going to get a charge off here, though. He's going to catch this unit. That can form square. I'm not quite sure how that formed square as it was charged, but it did. And the Dragoons are going to have to retreat from there. But Britain is in hot pursuit of a wounded Italian campaign, France, put it like that. If he keeps his Dragoon alive along with the Chevalets, they're just going to be a constant threat for the French, as you can see here. I mean, this poor unit here is getting gunned down. I don't know how this Buckinghamshire foot's still going. I mean, that's a pretty beaten unit. It's 25 out of 90. I mean, the Brits have taken a fair few casualties themselves. Like, I'm not going to knock the French. They've done a good amount of damage. You can see a lot of dead Redcoats down there. A lot of dead Redcoats in a lot of places. So I mean, the Brits had a rough start, put it like that. They refused to fire, but they've slowly turned it around. Anyway, over here, look at this. The French and Bavarians are gonna split the two German armies, and they're gonna be able to whip around. France is now also pushing up this hill, and is looks like he's in house-to-house fighting. This line infantry here is in house-to-house fighting with the pioneers and some grenadiers. That's going to be a nasty fight for the French. They're also dueling at this red line here. This could go wrong for anyone. If anyone routs, they're going straight off the battlefield. There you go. They're starting to duel it. I mean, I would expect a 4v2. I would expect the French to win, but I don't know. This grenadier here is pretty beaten up. How did you manage to get so badly beaten? Trilliers of the Young Guard. Oh, we do have some Young Guard here. That's good to see. They're going to get sent in by the looks of it with a bunch of Swiss. Always the sort of men you want in a building fight is the Swiss. But yeah, this is really good for the French. I mean, I don't know. Bavaria just needs to. I don't think Bavaria should be retreating. I mean, actually, he may need to with the cuirassiers on his heels, and he's going to get charged here. Oh, this is going to be rough for these line infantry here. Yeah, there's not much they can do. But get charged by cuirassiers of Saxony. And these boys are probably going to get routed. He just needs to get the rest of his men back. He probably wants to send his own cuirassier over here. Not to maybe fight, but just to check the Saxons. We've also got some Corps Provisional cuirassiers, which are not as good as normal cuirassiers, but they're pretty damn good. They'll still do a fair amount of damage. Still, whenever you see cuirassiers on the battlefield, I feel like you should fear them. You should give them a mark of respect. Britain is now, I don't know, shepherding like France into this forest. Like really, like he's formed like an L shape. He's like just gunning down anything that's in his way. Yeah, he needs to get these units out of here. France is running through this forest. Don't know where he's gonna set up. It looks like he's set up here. He's got some infantry already set ready to go. I don't know. Back over here, the cuirassiers have won their fight, and they're now going into join the fight here as the two cuirassier units, one for France and one for Bavaria, have clashed with Allied cavalry. Chevalets here look like they're losing against the cuirassiers, and we may be about to see cuirassiers, the Saxon ones, lose here against the Bavarian ones. We also see a building change hands, so I presume the Young Guard was successful in taking this. We have a massive charge here by the Prussian cuirassiers going in, routing a lot of the French here. This is bad. There's a grenadier like Hollandaise here, which is like part of the old guard. They've been routed. Well, the Young Guard I said was successful, but it's also broken. So whether they actually did take the building, I don't know really. But the French cavalry broke, as did the Saxon. Saxon one rallied all the French. They should, I would have thought. It looks like the cuirassiers are going to lose here for Bavaria, and that could be costly. I mean, they're already short on cavalry on this flank. I mean, they're short on cavalry on every front of the French. And this cuirassier could then now thread all this infantry, and a lot of this infantry cannot form square. Actually, yeah, about only 2 units can. The French need to keep pushing hard on the Prussians right now. They're doing a lot of good work. I mean, in some areas they're doing good work. Oh, the French look like they were in this building. And now since been routed. These cuirassiers for the French are doing, for the Allies, doing a lot of damage to the French. That's what I'm trying to say. The Prussians fighting for the fatherland. They don't want the French to get to Berlin. In this wacky scenario that they're fighting in. They're fighting in Flanders with the British against various eras of French. But yeah, look at this. I mean, if we just get the mini-map up. Like, France is almost surrounded here. I mean, he's only partially surrounded because I think this is the, if I can find it, it's the Dragoons. That's got to be the Dragoons, I think, on the map there. Where are they? Them there, yeah, the King's German Legion Dragoons are just there. But they are basically surrounded, are the French over here. This is not a good. And we have French going into combat with the 2 Sicilian Legion. It's a bit of a mess to look at, I will not lie. Not much I can really do about that. Forests, oh, look at this. They're forming square. Why are you forming square? Just run. There's no cavalry nearby. No cavalry nearby. You just get them out of there. I mean, it's pretty much impossible to now overrun anyway. You be careful, do the British. They are sort of overlapping their own, like each unit. This one certainly is probably getting friendly fire on the British. You need to be careful of that. Looks like over here what we got. We've got well, line infantry fighting against line infantry. No in particular, nothing interesting for the British really. 2 Sicilian Legion are gone though. Or one of them at least is gone. Looks like most of the French army again is going to get out. I mean, I say most, but it's probably now technically about half of the French army. A lot of it has been killed. The British are in hot pursuit, and I mean hot pursuit. This is like probably one of the least thrilling chases I've ever seen, but the British have actually caught the French. So there you go. And the British, you can see, as long as they get this road, they're going to be quicker. They're going to be quicker. Look at this. The French and Bavarians are in a sticky position. They're back to back on this hill. Bavarians now forcing the Saxons to come up this hill. And here you go, charge from Prussia. These boys can't form square. Good volley though. Might rout these cuirasses, you know. That might do it. They needed another charge. Oh, they needed another like volley. One more volley. I don't know. They didn't like that. They didn't like that volley. I won't lie from the Bavarians. But it looks like they're going to get out of that one just about alive. Only just, but there you go. That was a failed assault by the Prussians. That may be the change in fortune that the French need. Or French and Bavarians. You see they're doing little sneaky moves now, sneaking around the side. Going to try and take a little bit of a flank, but Prussia is very much aware of it and sending a reserve musketeer in that direction. And his infantry seems a lot more healthy than the French's. Firing at this hill, Bavaria needs to get a little bit higher up, I think. Like, if you look at the slope. I don't know, I mean, it's not too bad an angle. Always better to be at the top of the slope, though. Like over here, in the chase of a lifetime, the French have managed to get across the river. They may now try and hold this river. Try and use a bit of a natural choke point to stop the British. But I mean, in all honesty, in this day and age, who cares about choke points? You've got guns. Just shoot across the choke point. But I'm not quite sure where it is, but there is still some gunfights going on inside this this forest. So we're going to go back over here because we can actually see what's going on here. And it sounds like cuirass is coming in for round 2. Clearly this time the volley did not work in scaring off the cuirassiers, and it looks like that Bavarian unit has been routed. And maybe the second one. They get a well-timed volley there, the Saxons. They might be able to rout them. No, not to be. France here though is having a really rough time. It's really Bavaria that's doing, like, I'm not saying doing the work because he's not really done much, but the French have just on one side been routed by the British pretty convincingly, and then on this side are really struggling to get up the hill. They lost a lot trying to take that building as well. In all honesty, I'm not going to lie, I think they attacked the wrong one. They 2v1 the wrong army. They should have 2v1 Saxony. I know that's great having hindsight, and I probably am being hypocritical because I bet I said attack Prussia. But in all honesty, I'd have attacked Saxony. They have these garrison units, they have a smaller infantry army, and you don't have to go up a hill. Like, it's going up this hill, it's bleeding them. You can see that the rear guard is nearly actually intact, like in contact now with with the front, like the vanguard. I was about to call it the front guard. The vanguard, as it's more commonly known. But the French look like they're already getting prepared to entrench around this building. They've got Swiss infantry ready. They've got units in the building. I think they've accepted that they're going to get surrounded in a moment. Which is really weird because Prussia's literally here, red line, not quite red lining, but being forced to the red line. You then got Bavaria that's being like sandwiched now between a red line unit, red lined army, and also like a really weak Saxony. It's just a very bizarre scenario. And also you got the Schutzen here that are just shooting the general. I don't know if the general has died actually. I don't think so. It's who's going to die first, to be honest. I mean, the French are getting chased down on both sides, so the French armies. I'm going to say this army might die first, Bavaria, because they're going to go for a charge. And they broke on impact, as expected. I think that one there will. This one might do a bit better. Or not! Oh my gosh, what a brutal volley. And they broke as well. Yeah, Bavaria is basically just breaking on impact because, well, they're getting shot as they charge in. And that's never healthy. Yeah, and Saxony's going to just do the death blow. Charging in with his cavalry. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like actually, surprisingly, this French army over here is going to get taken out first. Those cuirasses did return, but a little late to do anything. Gonna go for a general snipe, I think. It's not a bad idea. The general's, well, he's actually got plenty of places to go now that they killed the Bavarians off.
The men of the teams must present.
And the Fusiliers are just gonna watch as the cuirasses go by. And they're gonna go rear charge these units. Not a bad idea, but they just got routed instantly. Did France lose his general or something? Because France's like infantry broke really quickly. I don't know. Might have done. But France is all gone. Like, and so is Bavaria. Bavaria did lose his general. I watched him like break. He like got shot back here, as you can see. Quite a lot of his staff dead here. But I'm kind of surprised that this army got taken out first. Like I said, I think they should have taken out Saxony first. It's the more flat ground. And also like the garrison units. Where are the British going? You realise the French are here. They are still here. I mean, I don't know why they're sending all these troops over. There is literally nothing left in Bavaria and France. I'm pretty sure are all dead. Well, they're nearly all dead. Some of their stuff's returning. But once it's died, once it's routed once, it's never the same. Never the same. There you go. Carl Willem is going in. And he's going to rout those boys very nicely, quickly. Excellent. What have we got over here? Oh, is this the British occupied building? I think it is. Okay, Britain, can you just finish off France? And then we don't have to worry about that. Building lost. Oh, they just must have, like, left it? Okay. That's nice. Oh, this cavalry is charged from a long, long way away. Oh, and they're taking the building back. Excellent. Very well done. But yeah, we've got British cavalry running from a long way away. Light Dragoons and Arthur Wesley are going to be joining the charge. Okay. Britain sent about 7 units of infantry. This should be enough to deal with the French, I would have thought. The French opening up, though. A volley in defiance. Like, well, you've taken down our brothers and now we will go down with them. But we're going down with a fight. Good on them. And this unit can form square. The Light Dragoons, I was going to say, not really made the best choice here. There you go. The Light Dragoons going to have to get out of there. They could recharge this unit here. That unit can't form square. Why? Oh, please, yeah, don't send in Arthur Wesley. I know he's a brave man. but not that brave or that foolish. What's left of it? Oh, Bavaria's got some troops that returned. Okay. Did wonder. Well, I don't think they're going to make it very far. There is a whole horde of Germans that want revenge for these traitorous ones that have fought with the French. I don't know exactly where this French army is going, but it looks like it might be going towards this building. I don't think it'll make it. I mean, if they're their dragoons back, the British, then they could harass them all the way. They've got these light dragoons. But I don't know where the King's German Legion dragoons went. Whether they got killed, I don't know. But they could harass these guys just the whole way and stop them from, make them form a square, slow them down, and allow the British to catch up.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
I also just realised I've not seen... Oh no, I was about to say I haven't seen a single British gun in action, but there's literally one here, a 9-pounder. I don't think I've seen it fire though. I don't think it's done anything. And here we go, here's the final stand and the final fall of Bavaria. Run, you fools! Go home. Tell your families what happened here. Or not, and you can just stand and die in Flanders. But yeah, that is certainly that's certainly, I wouldn't say a decisive battle, but it was not. It wasn't the closest in the world. I wouldn't put it like that. I think there was a few mistakes made by the French and Bavarians, but all in all, the Prussians had a really good position on the hill, and they used it to effect, and the French were just forced to come up and get them. And they had more cavalry. Like the French and the Bavarians didn't. I mean, they brought quite a lot. Italia and France brought quite a lot, but it seemed to just get all routed by about a couple of units of Saxon cav, and that was enough. Really, which is just unfortunate, I guess, because the army which brought the most cav,
the men are fatigued,
yeah, kind of got routed. Oh, is there a
while.
gun up here? No, this is. Why is Wesley waiting for the French army at the top of this hill? Is he just hoping to rout them all himself when they're all tired from marching up here to come and get him? Yep, he's actually going to dismount and put him in that building. Fair enough. He's got his sword out. I don't think I've ever seen Sir Arthur Wesley with a sword in hand, like in a picture. He's got his. He's also got his Scotsman he needs. He needs to have one key Scotsman with him. His token Scotsman, that's the term. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, that is basically the battle. I'm just going to now fast forward because it looks like the time is nearly over.
Fatigued,
so I imagine it'll end in what it will say is a draw. But I will call it an Allied victory because, well, it is really. Oh, the French are actually in this building. They had a light infantry in there. Fair enough. But there you go. Apparently it's a draw. I wouldn't have said it is. I would have said it was a victory, certainly for the Allies. They were going to win anyway. They're given like a little bit more time. So yeah, well done to Sniper Smith UK, who was playing as the Prussians. To D.G. Chaslock, who sent this one in, who's playing as the Saxons. We've got Buzzard, who's playing as the British Peninsula Army. Did a very good job as them. They managed to beat some pretty good players. So we've got Johnny Le Buffoon, who often sends in a lot of replays, who was playing as the Italian French Army. Did get kind of just forced back constantly, but Buzzard just contained them very, very well. Then we've got Falk number 2, who's playing as the Bavarians, who was helping Elon Musk assault that hill, and between them they got 1,200 kills. But like I said, I think if they attacked the Saxons, they may have had a little bit more success, because they were not going to be able to go up that hill. I don't know. But yeah, well done to Sniper Smith UK, who got 1,700 kills, D.T. Chaslock, who got 1,100, and Buzzard, who nearly got 1,100 as well. And then we'll have a quick look at the end results. We've got Chevaliers here with 324 kills. Some really good kills for those cavalry. 200 kills for those cuirassiers. Chevaliers with 190 kills. But yeah, really good kills for the cav. Infantry not doing that great. Not really taking part in the battle, actually. More down to that Saxon cavalry. But there you go, guys. That is the battle. I hope you did enjoy. If you did and want to see more NTW3 action, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and I come to show your support. And until next time, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.